About this one. Back in the States, and it was late November 2019, right? So we just got to the States and we're doing some stuff there. They have something called tasting panel. It's called SOMCOM, where all the top sommeliers in America all converge in San Diego, and they do blind tastings of huge categories. So let's just say agave. There'd be tequilas and mezcals. There'd probably 40 or 50 of them. Then there'd be vodkas. Then there'd be rums. And we thought, you know what? Let's put our vermouth in the vermouth category and see what happens. And it won a double gold. In a blind tasting, some of the top sommeliers in America could not pick that this was non-alcoholic. So that's pretty funny. I think that's hilarious.
It was way back when like non-alcoholic category wasn't even competitions. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So we have got one shot of our delicious award-winning Aperitif Rosso. We have 2 shots of our brand spanking new Pilot Malt. We have a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters. And then, as I said, I just put everything together in the fridge and just pour it straight out. Just to chill it down for now. I'm just going to put it into our lovely little cup here. Just to chill it down. And as I said, you don't need to chill it down too much. And then it's just a straight pour into the glass. For your ones, we just got a little fresh lemon zest and just sort of expressed it over the top. So it's a beautiful aroma, really fresh and uplifting. And then we threw in a maraschino cherry. So one of the house cherries here. And that, guys, is as simple as it gets, but it's a delicious kind of palate cleanser. It's something you could probably have after dinner. Again, an all occasion, great classic cocktail dating over 120 years. The Rob Roy. But cheers, guys. Hopefully you enjoy this.
And then each of the category has one exact replica of the cocktail as a zero proof version. So this gives the kind of like the same, attention to the non-alcoholic versions as you would have with the alcohol. So you don't need to be like, okay, I need to get a separate page because this is where I belong to. This is what we just did around. Is like every single category, the same story, what goes behind the drinks with the alcohol, and we just literally did the exact replica, the same name. We just write down like the zero proof version, and people can enjoy exactly the same taste profile as you would have for example, with a gin or rum. Okay? So, for example, this is the cherry street. Normally we have it with the plantation rum, with a green chartreuse, Falernum, and a pineapple juice. It's kind of like a swizzle style. It's very refreshing. So we changed it. We used the Liar's Absinthe on this one, what gives the replication of the white rum and the chartreuse, but it's like a lot of botanical flavors. Yeah? And it gives kind of like a nice uneasy background with a bit of a lime juice. The Falernum is like a spiced syrup, and then we just use the beetroot powder on the top. Right? So we took the flavor profile of lime, ginger, and pomegranate as a flavor-wise, and we deconstructed and did it in our way. So this is called the Merlin. It was actually the first drink was made non-alcoholic, and then we changed to the whiskey inside, so to see if it works with the whiskey as well, right? But the priority was the made non-alcoholic drink itself, right? So it's a combination of American malt. Then we do the cordial with a pomegranate, with a fresh pomegranate. We infuse it together with a kaffir lime leaf and bit of herbs and the lemongrass. Then we take the Java apple juice, so it's like the local apples, quite crispy. They give the pinky color to the drink itself, and a bit of infused with the ginger and osmanthus. So it's really complex, and we use the American malt because it comes from the American ground and inspiration. So we use the Liar's American malt as the base on this. So it's a lot of complexity rather than kind of like just ginger ale with a bit of syrup. There's a lot of complexity, a lot of flavor profile.
It's quite tannic as well, isn't
yes.
it? Yeah, is that tea? So.
Yes.
Differently, it's all secret.
So you can come down now. You can't like with who's not drinking. You can come down and have food and cocktails and have a really good time. Which is really.
And then it's the apple cheesecake. So it's like a small cheesecake ball with a cracker on the bottom. I think if you haven't had this, you haven't been in my hand. So.
You can have my one.
Yeah, I've had this in.
So this one's a bit of a bigger flavour, guys. It is that classic kind of post-meal sour. It's bloody fresh. It's good. Right, I'm going to quickly demonstrate, guys, really quickly how simple this drink is to make. If you are wanting to do it at home. One thing you do need though, if you don't at home, is a cocktail shaker. That's okay. If you don't have a cocktail shaker, you can use a jam jar. I'm sure you've got one of those kicking around. Yeah, seriously, they work really well. You could use a Tupperware container. Anything that you can seal. Seriously, like through the pandemic, people got pretty desperate, and there was some funny shit going around what people were making drinks out of. It's hilarious. I've even seen a protein shaker. You know the ones?
Oh yeah.
Everyone's looking there. So you don't have to have super fancy equipment to make delicious cocktail. Yeah, there you go. So, guys, really quickly, Lars Amaretti. Again, really easy. 2 shots, 2 ounces. And I'm just going to pour that straight in my shaker, or my protein shaker, or my jam jar. The guys at Manhattan have some freshly pressed lemon juice. So I'm going to do about 3/4 of a part of that, 20 odd mils. And then we're just going to do a dash of 1-to-1 sugar syrup. So about 10 mils of that. And I want to think about having non-alcoholics as well, because you don't have spirit or ABV or intense flavors through alcohol. You can cut down your sugar and you can cut back your citrus, so making it that kind of a low style. So all I've got there at the moment is 3 cocktails. Now we need to make it that sour where we just want to put a foaming agent. So a lot of bars like to use egg white. I don't. Some use the aquafaba, which is that chickpea juice. That's a pain in the ass when I'm traveling. I'm not going to get a can of chickpeas. So I have something called Wonder Foam, which is a foaming agent. This stuff's awesome. Don't drink it if you ever do, because I made a mistake. It's disgusting. It's made out of tree bark. But it is a vegan foaming agent. So you just need like 6 drops in there. So we were talking about sort of cocktails before, and when you think of old school, classics and the Amaretti Sour, Amaretto Sour, that's a cocktail that has nuts in it. It's got egg white in it, but we've flipped it on its head because you've got no allergens in here. So even though it has retains the flavour of almond, there's nothing in there. So it's allergen free. It's now vegan. So that cocktail has completely changed and flipped on its head. One of the things I do like to do, guys, is just to give it what we call a dry shake. So all I'm going to do is just give it a quick dry shake, just to emulsify everything and bind all those flavours together. So literally like 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And that there is just because that Wonder Foam or that foaming agent, it's just foamed it up enough. And I'm going to chill it down now. And you'll notice why a lot of bars use that kind of tin on tin. For 2 reasons. Firstly, if you ever have the one with the glass, invariably it's always going to break at like 8 o'clock on a Saturday night in the ice well, which is a real pain in the ass. And secondly, tin on tin cools it down. I could just literally go like that and that'll chill it down. But just to give it a quick 3 or 4 second shake, that is literally what you need to do. As good as our look. So you notice as well, guys,